Hold this for me.
Sure.
What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got wind with a chance of topwater.
With a chance of sweaty paddler.
So if you guys don't know, Paul's old boat is broke. So I gave him mine because he also sold his sit inside. So Paul is kayakless?
I technically don't have a working kayak.
He's a kayak fisherman without a kayak, so this is great. He's using my sit inside. This is the old red, white, and blue. And look, you're matching. Like you do. What a weirdo.
We're in the Freedom Yak.
So we're in the Freedom Yak. So you're gonna have fun because it's windy today.
The forecast was for like low to moderate winds, like 5 miles an hour was the high. This is a constant 10. It's not good.
Nope, it's not great. All right, so what are we doing today? We are breaking down the cheap versus expensive box that we put together on Tackle Warehouse. This was a hefty order.
This was a hefty order.
This was a hefty order. There was a lot of baits because we had to get one of each. So we got one like cheap to like below mid-range price type stuff. And then we got one really expensive of basically every category of topwater that we could think of. And we're gonna go put them on the water and catch some fish with them.
Yep.
What do you guys think about that?
I think we'll split them up. Like I'll take the expensive one, you take the cheap one. I'll take all the expensive ones.
So just for all the naysayers that would be like, oh, well, Paul just found a pattern. Oh, well, Jeff just found a pattern. Here's the deal. We will each take both the cheap and the expensive from each category. Yes. And then we'll just fish them, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So we'll kind of like divide this order in half because I think there was like 6 or 7 categories. So it should be pretty fair. And we're just gonna go hit some topwater action.
So half of this is going into this. And then we will divide and both hopefully win a lot.
What is this?
Oh, this is the new Colony 15 Buzbe Deep. So this is your standard Buzbe, except this is the 28. This is like the regular 3700 size. The 15D is obviously smaller, but check out the depth on that bad boy. So we're gonna test this one out, see how many. I think crankbaits. This is what's like screaming crankbaits to me.
Yep. And swim baits.
And swim baits, sure. And so I think this honestly could be enough for a whole season of frogging. And so the idea probably for me is to see really how many baits compared to this really fit in there, and then in a smaller, I just like that smaller profile. So for the yak, this is dope.
For this kayak.
Yeah, for that little boy.
Because you lost your Snorlax.
What?
Blue Snorlax.
I know where it is, it just can't.
I know where it is.
Both of his legs are broken.
Stop making fun of him. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna split this box up. We'll show you what we're rigging up, and let's go fish. First up, let's roll with the Berkley Jaywalker. This would be our cheap, quote unquote, topwater walking bait. Just want to see how it walks first. Ooh, oh, it's got a little bit of a hop to it. Oh yeah, I like that. Easy walk, good noise to it. We're going to be comparing this against the Tackle Anniversary Edition walker, so that should be fun. Not the best walking action I've ever seen. Definitely takes a little more finesse. Got him. Got that one good. There we go. First fish goes to the Berkley. Decent little medium bass. Can you not? Thanks, buddy. All right, little medium guy. Take it. We take those. Jaywalker action, pretty good. Let's switch it out. So I'm gonna go to this Tackle 10-year anniversary. This boy's over 20 bucks. Let's see how she does. This one I'm not thrilled to be throwing this one because it is too good looking and too expensive for a walking bait. 20 bucks, dude. Insane. Let me know in the comments with your walking baits if you like to go split ring or no split ring. Personally, I don't. I think it's easier to walk without, so usually I take it off. I'm just fishing these as they came. This one's so much louder. So this one like ticks every time you twitch. That's awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Very loud. This is gonna be a call 'em up bait.
All right, so the first two baits I'm running, this is the Hissy Fit by Lake Fork. Put on this little wormy here. You got your big snaky snake, and it's just gonna wiggle around like that. That's the deal. That's a horrible description, but this one is like the more expensive one, I believe. This is the expensive. And then we've got one of my favorites, the Arbogast Jitterbug, but this is the 2.0. Got the crazy bonkers colors, which they're kind of famous for with the 2.0 series of their baits. And this is a golden oldie. A little bit lighter, definitely a little cheaper. So those are the two that I'm gonna start with. And they're both like a wake bait, like a topwater wake bait. So let's see what we can do. Now these two require like a slow retrieve, slower for sure. Not so great on the windy water, so I'm not thrilled about that. So I'm probably gonna be going closer quarters, little dock action. Just trying to keep this as simple as possible. Oh man, keeps getting hooked up on itself. That's annoying. This is a problem for me, guys. I might be out on this bait entirely. Normally I'd be like checking my electronics while I paddle, having a sip of a drink, just chit-chatting with Jeffrey boy, but like not right now.
We're doomed.
Got him. Skipped it. Oh, skipped him under there. Oh, geez.
That's on the what?
Treble, baby. That's what a treble hook will get you.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. The Arbogast. Got him first. It's just a lot harder to get loose from a treble hook. I mean, and an easier, way easier hook set. That doesn't mean it's better, it's just different. Caught the back hook, caught the double up. That's that skip, man. I was maybe only under there for like 2 turns.
All right, next up I'm going with these crawling baits. We've got off and on wind today, and I think this will work really well, especially around these docks. But this is the Jackal Pompadour Junior. Very excited to see what this bait does. It seems really cool. Let's take a look. Ooh. Oh yeah. Look at that sucker. Look at it go. That's so cool. Dude, it's just moving. Moving. We're gonna be comparing this to the Head-In Crazy Crawler shortly. First wanted to see just how the fancy boy works. Now, the nice thing about the Junior is it has finesse hooks on it, and I know there's tons of perch and bluegill up shallow today. We've been catching them all day. So if I catch one of those, that'd be pretty nifty. Seems to have a weight transfer system. I don't remember reading that on the description, but very easy cast. Action on this thing is awesome. I think it's gonna be the toughest one to catch on for the day though. So this is the Nishine Abino? I don't know how you say it. You guys know how I roll. I have no idea. But really heckin' cool. Listen to that. It's so loud. Very heavy too, so you can bomb this baby out there. This thing is really cool. So we'll just do this. Verdict on Pompadour Junior. Absolutely love it. Great action. That is a good bait. It is very expensive, so keep that in mind. And this next bait is not expensive at all, so we're gonna try that out. All right, so this is a Head-In Crazy Crawler. Big difference here, no prop off the back, different treble setup, all that. These are cheap. Classic bait, get it anywhere. Yeah, this one like submerges a bit more and it rolls a lot more. Holy cow. All right, well, this might be the first time in the cheap versus expensive category that I'm like, yo, this is kind of a no-brainer. That Pompadour is way better than this.
Oh, we're definitely tying on the expensive popper. That is for sure. We're gonna do that. So this is the expensive Megabass popper. Perch color should be real good out here. And I mean, just poppers are great everywhere, no matter what. So I'm gonna be happy with that. We got it on the Monster Bass Topwater rod. The M3, this is actually the jerkbait rod, but it should work just fine. Easy caster. Got one right away. That was fast. It's a baby. I feel like I got a really good opinion on this Pop X. This is a super nice bait. Really happy with it. This thing is great. Ugh, I think we're gonna swap out for the other popper, the Yozuri. Let's get that out here. A little bit smaller, black, which you know we always like black. This is the 3DRX popper, the 65F. I have no idea what that means, but I do know that it is a much less expensive popper, and it's a dude. Yozuri like always brings the heat. I feel like, my opinion, always making a great bait. I have nothing that will catch here except for the popper, and it's just not it. So do you walk this thing? Like, what are we doing here? Oh, it walks super good. Look at it. All right, we are walking. I have a lot more confidence in this bait now. Yeah, this is a $5 bait. This is the 13 Fishing Pathfinder. It is a walking bait for the pads. There's the pad hooks for the people. Soft side, hard side. Hear that rattle, and it's, dude, watch this thing cast. Ready? Yeah! Bye! And honestly, it walks like a stick bait. Like, I'm just doing the thing that I normally do, and it is walking pretty good. Now, if you're just walking this in open water, you're not going to get nearly as many fish as a stick bait. Period. The end.
You're
like
missing
you're missing a lot of strikes, because something's going to come and swipe at it, and you are not catching that fish. Now, in the pads, though, if you're patient and you take your time with your hook set, I do feel like you have a good chance at catching a fish. This is a pretty dope bait, I'm not gonna lie. 13 Fishing, for me, I get it. It's not for everybody, but strikes again in the ingenuity department. Like no one else is gonna even make that bait.
Lest we forget, buzz baits are on this list, so we got to rig these up. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We need a creature bait. Oh yeah, we're gonna put this on. There we go. I guess let's try the expensive one first, huh? So you might be asking, why would you ever spend over $15 on a buzz bait? I'm asking myself that question too. Let's find out. And then we got the Cavitron up next. So we'll try that too. Into this buzz. Bubbly and squeaky. That's what I'm talking about. On. There we go. And we're back. Got him. I think that's my fish of the day, unfortunately. Oh, dude. Inhaled it. Oh my gosh. There we go. Yes. On the buzz. All right. Good show. Oh, that was the evergreen. It's a couple casts, man. It's definitely a buzzbait style day. Big fan. You know, like very unique shape. It bubbles, it's squeaky. Like that's the kind of buzz I want to have. It's a bit heavier, easy to get on plane with this design here. So that is, wow, impressive. Very nice buzzbait. Big fan. So for the cheap buzzbait, we've got the $7.99 Cavitron. This thing is pretty sick. I've got it paired up with a BFE off the trailer. Kind of a dark natural combo. Actually really easy to get this one up on plane too and keep it there. Extra squeaky. And this one, I learned from you guys in the comments, those holes for bubbling, and it gives it a nice, unique, almost like that crawler sound, the dropping marbles in a water bucket sound. On. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the one. Oh, he's good. That's good fish. It's good. He swallowed the whole thing. Oh no. Yeah. Dude, it's a giant. Bro. Yeah. Getting attacked by bees. Look. Yes. Yes. Thank you. There we go.
Still water, friggin' finally. And I'm gonna launch this thing into the weeds. Squash. Jeff rolls up, catches a frog. Fish. Thinks everyone should have already caught a frogfish. Boom! Oh, big slash.
Come on.
Yeah, big slash.
All right, you move in on that spot. We'll move out of your way. He's still there. That was good.
That was good.
Got a blow up on it.
Yep.
On the old freaky bait.
Walking it. I'm switching. This thing's okay in the pads. I mean, it's not like a slop master. Savage Gear duck. We got it in Chartreuse Kermit.
If you catch on it, you gotta go fruck yeah.
Fruck yeah. So this is the fruck. I mean, It's just it's got really delicate legs, which bothers me. This is the cheap option, which I think this is a couple of bucks. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We will see. So I'm running this just like a standard frog. I mean, it floats and it's got kicky feet, so anything is possible.
Well, let's try a frog. We got the scum frog here. Okay, so there's a scum in action. It's got like a, oh, dude, I love the action of this frog. It's like a nice little scoot, scoot, scoot. It's so cool. That's the scummy. Frog. Look at him just eat that scum frog. Gosh dang. Nice. Scum frog for the dub! Big fan of the scum frog. I really like that design and everything. Gotta try the big boy though. Oh, you can get some walking. Oh, really nice walking action with this frog. Big Gabbo will launch you back there, that's for sure. Oh! Shoot! On the drop! Look at this lean! Ah! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, another decent one. Oh my gosh, I had to lean on that boy. Gosh dang. Gosh dang. The big Gabbo on the plop. There we go. Oh God.
I want a frogfish. Oh, dude, you are only catching tanks. What is happening?
There he is. Come here, come here, come here, come here.
My God.
See ya.
Meanwhile, I'm stuck over here with Frank the Fruck. Well, if Frank the Fruck would frickin' do it.
Back here. Okay, I lied. Remember that time that I lied? There he is. There he is. There he is. Come here, come here, come here, come here. No, 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 no. Get in there. Dude, this guy lives in the pads. Look at him. Just, yes. Look at this meaty boy. Meaty boy. Yes. In the pads. Thanks, buddy. Whoo, baby. How was that for you?
I really hated that video.
I loved it. It was great. All right, you guys, so we have tested out all the cheap versus expensive. We've given you some feedback while we were there. Let's do a quick rundown of all the cheap versus expensive and which of the cheap or expensive baits you would choose. Let's get to it. So I'll start out. First two catches of the day for me were on walking baits. So we had the Teckle 10-year anniversary walking bait. This thing's $21. Way too expensive in my opinion. However, oh my gosh, this thing is amazing on the water. It walks so well, so much noise. It gives you like that nice little tick every time you twitch. It basically walks itself, little to no effort, and that's what I love to see in a walking bait. You can't mess it up. So if you want something super fancy and nice, I would check it out. That went up against the Berkley Jaywalker, which by no means is a bad walking bait. However, definitely takes a little more skill practice to get it dialed in. It does not dial itself. We've had many walking baits that basically do the work for you.
6 Sense Catwalk.
6 Sense Catwalk is like a great example of that. Oh yeah, KVD Sexy Dog walks itself. Absolutely amazing walking baits. So personally, for my opinion, I'd go with the Teckle. However, you can get away with so much with like these cheaper walking baits. Like again, it takes a little bit of practice to get them dialed in. That's probably worth it. Up your skill set and you'll be happy with them. The Berkley is solid. The other ones we mentioned are solid. Go check those out. KVD Sexy Dogs, they're like 10 bucks, 12 bucks.
Man. You can get away with value there.
100%. What did you have next?
All right, let's go just get this one out of the way. We had the gimmick route. So we got the 13 Fishing Pathfinder. This was like a handful of dollars. It's a, we already talked about it. It fished way better than I thought it was going to. This thing did way better than I thought. It walked really well. You could fish this open water, no problem. And then it went up against Frank the Fruck. Frank the frickin' frog.
Franken frog.
This thing sucked so bad. This ruined my whole day. I had a good outlook on life, and then I frickin' threw the frickin' frog and I was out. So dude, for me, in general, most topwater gimmick baits, I'm out on. Now, I will say this, brand specific, some brands do this type of stuff really well. 13 Fishing is, I think, the exception to the rule. If you see them trying something, they're usually keyed in on one like specific idea or thing they want to try, and they do a really good job executing baits like this. So in general, stay away from gimmick topwater. That's for me.
All right, next up, I had these crawling baits. They did not catch a fish today. They had some attention. I just don't think it was the day for it. And maybe better at like night, for example, or early morning. We just didn't have that day. So the Heddon Crazy Crawler, it's cheap. I'm not a fan. Like, it has such stiff action, I think just because of the wings there and how the trebles are rigged up, that I ended up like rolling it a bunch. I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do some of the time. It was like 50-50. So for that, I'd be out on that one. Again, there's
Love Heddon.
Love Heddon. There's also not a ton of like crawling baits like out there that I would really be able to recommend, so I can't really say much about it. It's not a bait that I'm super comfortable with either, so I do got to make that point. And I will say, put it up against that Jackal Pompadour Jr., it's no contest. Like, the Pompadour Jr. is insane. Is it expensive? Absolutely, very expensive. I think that it's actually freaking awesome. It has very unique action. It's actually kind of subtle for a crawling bait, so I feel like it's a bait I'll be using a bunch more to see if I can start getting some catches on it, get more comfortable with it. It just does what you want it to do, and I was very happy with it. What do you think? Would you go expensive or cheap with crawlers?
For crawling baits, because there's a little bit of engineering required, some complex parts that they have to source on their own, I'm probably going expensive. That's just my thought there. I don't think you're going to get a lot of value from the cheaper baits. That's just my opinion.
100% agree. What do you got next?
Let's talk, I guess you could call these like a wake bait, right?
Yep.
So we had two different ones. This is the Arbor-Gast Jitterbug 2.0. The 2.0, you get the crazy colors, you get the joint, which you didn't have before. Everything else pretty much the same. Overall, I thought this is, I love this bait. This is a terrible day for it. It's windy. You want to see these still water morning and night. The one thing that really bothered me about it is this treble kept getting hooked up on this rear treble. And it was enough where it wasn't like, oh, no, like 50% of the cast. It was kind of bothering me. If you downsize this treble, you're winning.
That actually happened on the Crazy Crawler too, so I got to call that out as well. They're so close.
Yeah. And
it ends up like, there it goes. I barely did anything. Like, it just does that, so that is not ideal.
But this did wake pretty well, and this did catch the fish. So I have to give props to the to that bait. It just got it done. This is the Lake Fork Hissy Fit. Looks freaking wild. You can choose whatever trailer you want, big, small, crazy, fat, whatever. But you're gonna have a problem getting hooked up because you gotta have a heavy stick. Now, this is a little more durable. This plastic right here does a really good job at higher speeds, even in wake of like actually waking, even with some waves on. So I like that. It's fun. This is freaking fun bait to throw. I got some hits on it, so I know it can catch. I will say this, I might swap this out for a treble, like a smaller, 100%. Longer treble hook, and I think you'll probably get a lot more bait, like a lot more bites. Now, you also got to go, I think, with a shorter worm here. I think I should have bit this off and go shorter, but I really wanted to go for the snake. I really like this bait. It was cool. Here's the thing. For wake baits, for me, I think you can get away from cheap because of companies like this, because of Heddon, and companies like Arbor-Gast. I think you can get away with cheap. I don't think it matters. I think you can go either way. Expensive, sure. Cheap, sure. I don't think you're going to lose.
All right, next up, I got to hit the frogs. This is my favorite part of the day. No contest. The scum frog is awesome. For $5, this is top quality, super high value. If you guys aren't fishing scum frogs, I highly recommend it. I have not been disappointed with a single one that I've gotten in the past. I own like 4 or 5 of them from like the trophy and the launch series, and all the way down to this is the lowest. I think it's the cheapest one they have. I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm fine with that. But this one is awesome, and it caught the biggest fish on hollow bodies for the day, but not the biggest fish of the day. That thing was fantastic. We put that up against the expensive, which is the Megabass Gabbo, and I forgot the price, so it's this much.
Much
more. It's like almost triple, I think. It's a lot more than a scum frog costs. It is really cool. It did catch a nice fish, and it was, just really fun to fish with. That said, Would I spend this type of money on a frog? I don't think so. I don't think so. Long term, not really my deal. I think I go cheap on this route. You?
Yeah, I would agree 100%.
Sweet.
Next up for me is the Popper series. Now this is the Pop Max. Was it the Pop Max?
Pop X.
Pop X. This is the Pop X from Mega Bass. It's absolutely beautiful. Probably the best fit and finish of any bait that we got.
Gorgeous.
It is really, really nice. It popped really well. This was the better walking popper, which I think is a little bit of a subtle thing that not a lot of people, you know, get with popping bait, like little poppers. I love this thing. This is a really nice popper. Definitely got some hits, and I did like it. Now I went up against the Yozuri 3DRX popper. So that one was in black. I will say this had a better pop to it, like a more aggressive pop, popped more consistently, but it didn't walk nearly as well. They both casted really well, and they both caught fish. So for me, let me get back here. For me, poppers, you can get away with cheap. You can get away with cheaper for sure. I mean, the Rebel Pop R will never be expensive, and it will always catch the most fish. And that's just my opinion, man, but it's a great popper. So I think you can get away with cheap popper for sure.
All right, and we're almost there, second to last. So we had these two prop baits that we fished. First one being the Nishine Albino. I still don't know how to say this. You have to tell me phonetically in the comments, please. This is a sick looking bait, really cool action. I didn't really take the time, because we didn't have much time today, to switch out that middle piece here, this little clanger, I'm gonna call it. It's pretty crazy action in the water. I don't know if this just wasn't the day for it, but I didn't get a single follow on either prop bait. However, basing this just on action, appearance, etc., this thing is beautiful. It has an awesome action. Really, really cool. Prop baits in general, not cheap. So our cheap category was actually around 12, 13 bucks, and that's our river to sea we're gonna look at in a second. This thing, like, I want to make it work. So I'm gonna spend more time on this. I'm gonna figure it out and come back and give a different verdict on it probably, because it's just really heckin' cool. So that went up against the Lane Changer. So it's hooked in my finger. That went up against this Lane Changer from River to Sea. We've been getting like a lot more bites, I would say, on like natural colors, lighter colors, chartreuse today. So maybe it was just the black that wasn't it. I don't know. Did you find that with the Yozuri?
Yozuri got more bites.
All right, I lied.
But they both, it was a dead tie.
Yeah. So I don't know if this just wasn't the day for it. It's definitely stealthier than I expected it to be. It just kind of bubbles. It's even like more subtle than a lot more subtle than your whopper ploppers. So we fished whopper plopper, like cheap whopper ploppers today. Caught a bunch of fish on them. Did not catch a thing on this. Didn't even get a follow. These and the crawlers were like the two categories of baits where fish were not caught, wasn't getting any attention. So I can't give like a fishability verdict on them. Yeah. But I could say, like, it was really cool for the price. It's a neat bait. I think that I would pick that up again for sure. All right, last but not least, we almost forgot about these. We got the Buzzbait. So Cavitron, that's your cheaper Buzzbait, $7.99. Caught the biggest fish of the day. That was an 18.5 incher, freaking beautiful. Took little to no casting today. This is definitely a Buzzbait type of day. And we almost forgot about them, but I was saying, like, man, you know what I really like to do? Throw a gosh dang Buzzbait, and then we remembered those were in the box that we had to fish. So luckily for us, I had it, pulled those out, fished them. Cavitron, big fan. Absolute blast to fish with. The other one we got, the expensive route, twice the price, the Evergreen. This is a really nice looking buzzbait. It's heavier, but it gets on plane really well because of this little section of that jig right there. And it's got a nice squeaky, bubbly type sound. I think it gives you a unique angle on your buzzbaits, which is really cool. So big fan. Would I spend that much again? I don't think so. I was so happy with the Cavitron, like why would I? Like I've caught so many fish on this Cavitron already because I fished it last week too. It's a great buzzbait. You can get away with budget buzzbaits. Would you agree?
Dude, the Cavitron's probably my all-time favorite buzzbait. I just think it does everything really well and it's not expensive. So I would 1000% agree. Yeah, now that doesn't mean you can't go buy good ones and you shouldn't. That just means you can get away with something that's less expensive and not like feel like you got a piece of junk that's not gonna fish well.
100%. Now, we didn't talk about this real quick. Would you go cheap or expensive prop baits?
I'm probably just in general. I'm definitely not going cheap. I'm going mid-range or higher.
I think so. All right, guys. Wow, that was a rundown. So there's our opinions. I think overall, with the baits that require better engineering, we vote go mid to high range. Like, you're gonna want the expensive one because it's just gonna do what it's supposed to do, and it's gonna do it better, guaranteed. With things like your hollow body frogs, your buzz baits, your poppers, your walking baits, even, like, you can get away with a lot with that lower to mid range price category. That's our opinion. What is yours? Let us know your cheap and expensive categories. This is, again, just Topwater. We'd love to do this with other categories.
What should we do
baits.
next?
Let us know which category of baits we should do next, cheap versus expensive. We'll go buy a bunch on Tackle Warehouse, and then we'll unbox them, and then we'll test them out on the water for y'all. Thanks for watching, and we got some buzzbait fishing.
We're buzzing all the way out.
We're buzzing out. We'll see you guys later.